What's this little frog doing? What's this chap up to?
Wow. It's practicing first position?
What's going on in the background?
He's trying to build up his nerve into jumping in that gushing stream.
No,
He's just going, I can do this.
He's facing the other way.
I can do this.
Is he fishing? Is he catching things in his webbed?
I was thinking maybe there was a plane load of frogs trying to land. Well, you know, air traffic controller frog.
Air traffic control frog. What is it about the background?
Running water, water stream.
What does that create? If you've got a waterfall behind you, how do you communicate with your neighbour? How do you shout?
It's sign language.
Yes.
No.
Semaphore.
Really?
Stuff.
It's the semaphore frog, because it lives by waterfalls and cataracts, and so little won't get heard. So that's how it communicates. Basically, it's saying to other males, this is my territory, keep away, or it's saying to girls, here I am. It is a wonderful sign. It solved the problem of the fact that it can't vocalise because it lives in a noisy environment. There are other ways of attracting mates which are unusual. Yes?
The internet.
If only you'd said what you often call the internet. What do you sometimes call it?
The interweb.
Yes.
Web spiders.
Spiders, yes.
Spiders make webs to catch prey so they can eat, survive, and thrive.
But there's a particular breed of spider. They ejaculate into a pad of webbing and transfer the sperm-laden pad to their palps, which are like their antennae, and then they wave them around to attract the food. I've got some sperm here. I've got some sperm for you.
Oh, God.
I used to do that to my ex-girlfriend because...
Why am I not surprised by the word X in there?
Yeah, I mean, she just wanted to have a baby so bad. It was just real easy to get her excited like that. I got some sperm, and she'd come running, and I'd be like, I'm just kidding.
You'll probably each well out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's the better for it. I mean, in fact, I take pride in believing that I helped her prepare
And
for the
think
next
what
cat
you're
she
saving on triple-ply tissues. There you are.
In some weird English way, I feel dealt with.
Right. How do you hide, think carefully, 17,000 swimming pools? OK, I'm going to give you a clue.
I don't need one.
No. Oh.
I've got it.
No, everybody watch and learn.
OK. Well, what you do, Sandy? 17,000 blankets.
Well, camouflage...
Are we talking about aerial photography?
Yes, so in 2008, the Greek government, famous for being able to collect taxes, they decided to put a tax on swimming pools in Athens. 324 households checked the box on the form to say, yes, indeed, we have a pool. So they looked at some satellite images of the city and they found 16,974. Wow. And so there was a swimming pool builder in Athens, and all he did was get requests from people saying, how can I hide my pool? So, all kinds of things. Blankets that mimicked grass, frankly, floating tiles, camouflage nets, anything that they could think of.
Wow. So I was kind of...
So you were... I think I'm going to give you a point, because I do think you were sort of heading in the right direction. France has got the highest proportion of privately owned swimming pools in Europe, and they're taxed there too.
How do you justify taxing a hole in the ground with water in it?
Yeah.
You've got a hole there with water in, so that'll cost you.
Do you think this guy looks married? I think not. I'm going to go...
I'm going to desirable.
That's my husband you're talking about.
So, the swimming pool is considered a luxury tax, and there was a time in history when being a bachelor was also considered to be a luxury.
Yes.
And single people should pay the government for their failure to marry. When might it have come up as a thought that maybe some of those single men...
Oh, is it just men or women as well?
So it's men.
Okay.
No, women
Is it
can
to do with
like...
conscription?
It is around the war, so we are talking about the 1920.
Right.
It was seen as sinful, it was seen as not doing your duty after the First World War, that bachelors were just having a good time.
Sandy, love is a war.
It's the way you do it, Lou Sanders.
From what I've heard, it's more of a skirmish.
1920, a group of women in Périaux, France, formed the Anti-Bachelor Society.
Why don't they could just marry them? They need a society. Get out there and marry some of these poor bastards.
So the problem was there were so many casualties from World War I that there weren't enough men to go around, and what these women demanded was that the bachelors should pay extra tax, they should be banned from voting or holding public office.
I love it.
I'm all for that, yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, it didn't quite work out, but the government did introduce a 25% tax surcharge on unmarried men and women over the age of 30 because they wanted to boost the ageing population. The English Parliament in 1695 passed the Marriage Duty Act, which taxed bachelors over 25 in a bid to raise funds for war with France. And I have to say, we're not the only country that has had this discussion about a bachelor tax. The United States, there was a big discussion about it. It didn't actually happen, but here's a cartoon suggesting what would happen if this law came into effect. But anyway, has been common across lots of countries, this idea that bachelors have some kind of duty to get married. Up until, from the late 19th century until World War II, Denmark had a thing that women aged between 13 and 20 could take out insurance against celibacy, and if they were still unmarried at 40, then you got a pension from your insurance policy.
Bring it back.
Now for something completely different. Could you please do an impression of a trout faking an orgasm? Oh, Deirdre's off. Looks like you had a really bad facelift.
To be a sarcastic trout.
Sarcastic trout.
It'd be the gills. It'd be like...
Trout faking an orgasm. Is that it?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, the river moved for me as well.
Anybody else want to show? You do a fine line in animal impersonations.
Well, I'm not sure. I feel like I'd have to move my tail. I'm sure the tail...
I don't believe anybody is stopping you. If you've just tuned in, that was Alan being a trout, faking an orgasm.
The mouth open and the tail whistling.
So here's the thing. Female trout do fake orgasms, OK? When two trout prepare to spawn, they quiver rather violently before releasing egg and sperm, respectively. So they did a study on this, 2001, and they found that 69 out of 117 pairings, that's quite a lot. Yes, ironically, 69. Females did not release her eggs despite going through the quivering motions and tricking the mate into releasing his sperm. So why would she do this? It allows her to save herself for a better trout. It also allows multiple males to deposit sperm on her before she releases the eggs. So, you know, when you open a trout, you can see if they've got eggs in. You know she was a faker. But also what I like about it, there's got to be a thing of trout etiquette. She's just going, no offence, honestly. You tried, she says to the boy, but, yeah, no, wasn't quite up to scratch.
You don't think of trout being choosy, do you? But they must be.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could talk.
What's the best way to ensure that your family never forgets you after you're gone?
Oh, haunting.
Haunting is a good way, yeah.
Insists on being buried in an exact replica of your house. Yes. That they have to pay for and therefore sell the house they live in to...
You're still angrier.
Finance it, yeah.
Being stuffed.
Well, yes, being stuffed now...
Preserved in some way.
There's a very extreme example of that.
On the mantelpiece. Just slightly in front of the television so they can't see.
There was an artist called Hananucha Masakilchi.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of him? Yeah.
He's bloody good.
He's excellent.
He's Japanese, and in the mid-1880s, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis and knew he was going to die. So he made a statue of himself, so lifelike and so realistic. When he stood next to it, people couldn't tell which was which, apparently. He handcrafted glass eyes and then bored a tiny individual hole for every pore of his body, and then took the hairs from every pore of his own body and put them into the other pores. He pulled out all his own fingernails and put them in like that, yeah? His toenails and his teeth, right? Now, obviously, this is a replica because it's quite shiny and obviously not anything like a real person.
Can you imagine if he'd done all that and someone had gone, actually, it doesn't look that much like you, and you're left going,
No teeth, no nails.
Imagine he'd taken his eyes out at an early stage and realised what a stupid mistake that was. Oh, damn.
But it found its way, the original, to Robert Ripley's auditorium in Los Angeles. But unfortunately, it was injured in an earthquake in '96, and it's currently awaiting restoration. There are other things you can do. What about letting your family see you disintegrate, see you in your coffin? Have a camera.
Have a camera in your coffin?
Webcam, yeah. There is a Seattle-based company called seemerot.com. I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. And they have a light and they have a webcam, and you can watch your loved one basically rot. There you go.
Can I... When you say the only problem I've got with that is loved one.
Their slogan, being dead and buried, doesn't mean you can't have friends over.
But it's buried underneath. Imagine if you were watching the webcam, just watching and watching and watching, and then suddenly it went... You would be so freaked out by that, wouldn't you?
When I took my husband home for our first Christmas together, I got so self-conscious about all the things that my family do at Christmas.
What do you do that's so...
Well, we have a set of bells that we sit round... We each have a different... Everybody... OK, we've got a set of bells.
Yeah.
There's 8 bells.
Right, how many of you?
Full octave.
Well, there's only 4 of us in my family.
Oh, 2 bells each?
Yeah. But then now my husband's joined.
Oh, no!
Yeah. No, that's good. That's another person, yeah.
Right.
That's another person. I'm glad you recognise him as such.
And in about 1987, my mum wrote out loads of Christmas songs on sort of boards with all the bell numbers.
Right.
And we just do that for about 2 or 3 days.
We had a similar thing. Mum and Dad's friends would all come over, like Sri Lankan friends. They would get drunk and then they would turn over, like, bins and stuff like that and then start banging on them and singing, like, old traditional Sri Lankan songs.
Is that true, Shanti? Is that true?
yes, it's very true.
It's true. No?
You know,
Exactly everything you say, Ramesh. Yeah.
Confirmation, please. Keep from hell. Can we have confirmation that he's telling the truth?
I've got this horrible, judgmental Wikipedia sitting up.
Checking all your gags.
Yeah, well, that's true, Sandy. Don't worry, you can carry on with the anecdote. Off you go.
Someone from Holly's family going, there's a load of shit about the bells. There are 16 bells, you lying cow.
So, like, they would get, like, buckets and turn them over and then just, like, my dad would just be... like that for, like, hours.
Do you two live anywhere near each other?
Links up, done a little tour, coffee and cream on the road. But then, one Christmas we did that, and then the next morning we took the blanket off the budgie cage and they were dead.
Had you beaten the birds to death?
No, they just didn't like Sri Lankan music.
I think your mum thinks that's not true. They never had a budgie.
Just really racist budgies.
The question about migration, I'm going to ask you all to take out a map that you should find beneath your desks.
Oh, yeah.
There you are. And you've got some drawing to do on the map. I want you to draw the extraordinary annual migration of the North American blue grouse as accurately as you can.
Right. So North America. OK, so anywhere then, not Alaska then. Is it Alaska? Alaska?
The point is that I don't tell you...
Oh.
Until...
I've got a feeling that they want to get to another bit of North America, but they go the wrong way. And they end up going all the way around the world and landing on the other coast.
OK, I don't... There you go. Florida for the sun, and then to the carnival in Rio, and then to Sydney.
By way of Cape Town, is it?
Yes.
So they go to all the Mardi Gras.
Well, they go all the Mardi Gras.
Love it.
They're just mad for it. And then up here, for there's like a cheese rolling in Britain, they like that. and then they're just knackered, and the ones that are still alive, back home.
It's a fantastic route.
I just think that sort of they go just have a sort of a trip round South America, just have a look.
Yeah.
You know, might as well make a day of it.
I reckon they go about a mile to the next village.
Yeah.
Well, but I think what happens is they sort of start off and they sort of overshoot and they end up going completely... not hitting any landmass at all. And they go, hang on, we'll give it one more go. And they end up in Colchester. They've got no idea. For millennia, they've ended up in Colchester.
And yours, show the ladies and gentlemen.
You see, that's just that... another point being...
Oh, dear. Well, wouldn't it be funny if you were
You're
right?
trying not to smile.
No,
You're trying not to.
I don't want to look at it.
You like it.
Don't like it. I don't like it. Do I like these? Do I like these? I don't like these.
It's funny.
I don't like it.
OK.
I don't like it.
Stop that. OK. Incredibly, closest to the truth was Alan. Not in your drawing, but
My
in a
first
remark
idea that they leave America, go around the world and land in America again.
No, in the remark you just made to Bill.
What?
I reckon they just...
Go about a mile to the next village.
Yes! It's even less than that. It's extraordinary migration. It's 300 yards.
I never thought of them packing their cases.
But it's
leaving a note for the milkman. Unplug the telly.
Every spring it goes down to its breeding grounds, and then in the autumn it schleps all the way back up the hill again. And that's
is...
It's
Does it take a long time?
on foot, by the way, not even flying it.
I mean, they are massive, aren't they, based on those footprints?
Now, since we're talking about quads and quins, here's a question on multiple births. What's the best way to avoid paying income tax in Hungary?
Don't work in Hungary.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
It is, in general, the most fail-safe way of avoiding income tax.
Yes, I think.
Avoid income.
Yeah. Look at that building, isn't it stunning? It's the Parliament in Budapest. But the quickest way at present to achieve income tax exemption is to have quadruplets.
What?
I know. So, February 2019, the Prime Minister, Viktor Orban, announced that women who have 4 or more children will be permanently exempted from income tax. Why might he decide to do this?
I feel like there's probably a not particularly fun answer to this, that it's about getting more and more Hungarians.
It is. They don't want immigrants coming in and they're trying to repopulate with real Hungarians. Isn't that a thing?
It's essentially encouraging breeding as an act of racism.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think if I moved to Hungary and managed to produce 4 kids...
he'd be thrilled.
He wouldn't be delighted.
No. You don't have to have them all at the same time, which is good, because having quads, it's like winning the lottery. In humans, the odds against having twins in a natural birth are 89 to 1. For triplets, it's 7,921 to 1, so 89 squared. For quads, it's 704,969 to 1, so it's 89 cubed.
Doesn't the likelihood go up through IVF and stuff like that?
Yeah. This is a sort of rule of thumb. It's called Helen's law. It is just to do with natural childbirth and natural conception.
So, looking at that, the best route would be just not to declare all of your income.
Can I just say that having quadruplets, so much easier for the boy. Have a look at this picture. She's had 4 children, and he's having a cigar.
That's Stephen Fry.
So while we're on this subject, what was the Toronto Stork Derby?
Is it a race with storks delivering babies?
Yes, yes. So this was a multi-birth contest in Ontario. in 1936. It was described by the province's Premier Mitchell Hepburn as the most revolting and disgusting exhibition ever put on in a civilised country. What happened was there was a great guy, I think, called Charles Miller. He was a lawyer, he was a financier, he was a practical joker, and he had nobody to leave his money to. And so he stated in his will that whoever could have the most babies in 10 years could have his money.
Grim.
Yeah, it attracted a huge amount of interest because some of his investments made a lot of money. It was a huge fortune. His $100,000 estate turned into a $750,000 fortune by the end of the race, and mothers went crazy.
You could only have 10 max, though, surely, or like 10 and 1 on the way.
No, if you have multiples, if you have twins.
You could have sextuplets 10 times. You could have 60.
Oh, right.
So that woman, who looks frankly exhausted, was one of the contestants. She had 13 children. 5 women had 56 babies between them. We don't know how many of those were multiple births. And in the end, the pot was eventually split 4 ways, with 2 consolation prizes for women who had been disqualified.
Women who've been disqualified.
What did they get disqualified for?
Maybe they'd adopted.
Borrowed
That would
some
be.
babies.
I've adopted 700.
Some of the babies were illegitimate and so disqualified.
What?
Yeah.
That's harsh.
He was a great prankster, Charles Miller. He left brewery shares to a prohibitionist campaigning group on condition that they actually ran the business. Racecourse shares to anti-gambling clerics. And he left a holiday home in Jamaica to 3 men who hated each other on condition they all lived in it together indefinitely. Sounds like a great sitcom, doesn't it? Now, what is the biggest thing you could buy with a quid?
Is it a whale? Pound sterling?
Yes.
Visualise the shelves in Poundland. Don't remember any whales there. You can get an ironing board, something like that.
Think about football.
A football club?
Oh. Not Aston Villa or someone like that.
Chelsea Football Club. Ken Bates bought it for £1 in 1982. He later, Bates, sold the club to Roman Abramovich in 2003 for £140 million. Today it's estimated to be worth £1.5 billion. Other companies that have been bought for £1, British Home Stores, Barings Bank, Reader's Digest, Homebase. It doesn't have to be £1. When Rover was sold to BMW, it was 10 quid. But you have to have something. It's a legal necessity in a contract. It's called a consideration. Something has to be paid. It used to be known as the peppercorn, like peppercorn rent. Bath University still pays an actual peppercorn to the city as ground rent.
What?
Yeah, it's... What?
How does that
Have you
work?
woken up? What's happened? When you have a legal contract, if I'm going to sell you this card, you must give me something for it.
A pen.
All right, there you are. That's it, and I'll have the pen. Actually, it's quite nice. Thank you.
No, they're the old answers.
Are they physically doing it still? Are the university actually going to
the city and
giving them a peppercorn?
It's become a sort of ritual.
Do you think the peppercorns get used?
I like that the city might be building up to a whole mill.
Yeah.
The new 12-sided pound coin, it's got a number of features that make it more difficult to counterfeit. Anybody know what they might be?
Is it a weight thing?
No, it's a kind of hologram. So if you look, this is just below the Queen's head, and if, depending on the light, it either says 1 or a pound symbol. If you can you see, just if you flip the coin, it's a good noise from everybody.
Noise.
Ooh.
That's all the forgers. Coachload of forgers in. Oh.
Name a nonsense museum.
The Leicester Gas Museum.
Is there a gas museum?
Yes.
I want to go.
I went there, it was amazing. And the guy who runs it is a James Bond lookalike. But he asked us to guess who he was a lookalike of, and we didn't get it, so I'm not sure how successful
that's not so
he
good.
is.
Does it look like of a specific James Bond?
He looks like the Scottish guy.
Oh, is it unlucky to mention it? you know, you're not allowed to say
The Scottish
the
Bond.
Scottish James Bond.
And because we were so enthusiastic, he gave us some British gas tracksuits from 1988.
Is he supposed to give away the exhibits? That doesn't seem...
My favourite, there's a pencil museum in Cumbria. Which is brilliant.
In
it's
Keswick.
Keswick. It's got the world's biggest pencil.
Yeah.
Which is massive.
Yeah.
You go and they show you how they make pencils. They show you how pencils are invented. You can have a pencil with your name on it.
like the best museum in the world until I went to McLean in Texas, where they had the barbed wire museum.
How do you get in?
Barbed wire is the thing that changed the entire face of America, because that thing that we think about, the Wild West, was only about a 20-year period of history, because barbed wire came in and it was impossible to drive cattle across the country, so it's hugely important.
Yeah.
But it is an extraordinary museum.
Yeah, it's great. That piece of barbed wire there, that's over 200-year-old.
Anyway, there is actually a nonsense museum, the Nonseum in Herrenbaumgarten in Austria. It was founded in 1994 and it houses a collection of absurdist items. So it has things like the selfie rifle.
One previous.
Yeah. This crockery set, I think, is a very useful thing. This is divorce crockery. And then these are keyhole-shaped spectacles for voyeurs. And the next one is something I absolutely would like to have. This is a biological lawnmower.
That's not a real shape.
But there's also some very good stuff. The US Patent Office is a tremendous place to look for nonsensical items. For example, the Behringer vacuum cleaner. This is a depressing thing. It's from before the time of the electric vacuum cleaner. Basically, the man's had a busy day and he comes home and he sits in his rocking chair, reads the paper, smokes a pipe, and he rocks. And the action of him rocking enables the woman, quite rightly, to do the hoovering. The worst example of these is the centrifugal birthing machine, OK? So this was invented in the 1960s by George and Charlotte Blonsky, who I can only imagine did not actually have children. So women were strapped to it and rotated at a speed dictated by the doctor. And when it was delivered, the baby landed in a net.
That would be awesome. What a way to come out.
Something that would be like that would be a birthing trebuchet.
Yeah.
So you're labouring away, and then they strap you to a catapult, but then bang!
Wait, it's
area.
like getting ketchup out the bottom of the thing.
Just the force of the boom, the
Yeah.
whoa!
You've forgotten the cord, Phil.
That baby's coming back.
What's this?